What if the reason you're exhausted isn't because you have too many problems, but because you're paying attention to too many things that don't belong to you? You're watching what other people are doing. You're wondering who likes you. You're checking who is ahead of you. You're explaining yourself to people who already decided what they think. You're reacting to every comment, every message, every opinion, every insult, every success that isn't yours. And slowly, without realizing it, you give your life away. The Stoics understood something most people never learn. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Where you place it determines what grows inside you. Marcus Aurelius lived surrounded by noise, politics, war, criticism, responsibility, and people constantly demanding his attention. Yet his philosophy repeatedly brought him back to one simple responsibility: take care of your own mind. So stop watching everyone else. Stop explaining everything. Stop reacting to everything. Focus on yourself. And sometimes, stay silent. Stop watching everyone else. Look around. Someone is richer than you. Someone is more attractive. Someone has a better career. Someone has more followers. Someone is traveling. Someone is getting married. Someone is succeeding faster. And if you're constantly watching other people, you will eventually start believing that your life is behind. But behind according to whom? There is no universal timeline for life. The Stoics understood that your responsibility is not to control another person's journey. It's to fulfill your own. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself to focus on his own work and character, rather than reputation or comparison. Think about how much energy comparison consumes. You see someone succeed, you become jealous. You see someone fail, you see someone fail. You see someone criticize you, you see someone criticize you. You become jealous. You see someone ignore you, you start overthinking. Your attention moves everywhere, except toward yourself. So ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped watching everyone else for the next 6 months? What if you stopped comparing, stopped checking, stopped competing with people you don't even know, and used that energy to build yourself, your body, your mind, your skills, your career, your relationships, your discipline, your character? That is where your attention belongs. Not everything deserves a response. One of the most powerful forms of self-control is knowing when not to react. Someone insults you, you want to respond. Someone misunderstands you, you want to explain. Someone criticizes you, you want to defend yourself. Someone posts something about you, you want to answer immediately. But ask yourself, does this actually require my response? Not everything does. Silence isn't weakness. Sometimes silence means, this doesn't deserve my energy. The Stoic isn't trying to win every argument. The goal is to remain in control of yourself. Marcus Aurelius even frames self-defense in terms of refusing to become like the person who wronged you. That's powerful. Because when someone provokes you, they are offering you an invitation. They're saying, come down to my level, lose control with me. You don't have to accept. You can pause. You can breathe. You can walk away. You can say nothing. Not because you're afraid, but because you understand the value of your peace. Stop explaining yourself. There comes a point where explaining yourself becomes another form of seeking approval. You explain why you made the decision. Then you explain why you didn't respond. Then you explain your intentions. Then you explain your feelings. Then you explain your plans. And after all that, the person still doesn't understand. So you explain again. Stop. You are allowed to make decisions other people don't understand. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to leave. You are allowed to protect your time. You don't need a courtroom defense for every decision you make. Of course, accountability matters. If you hurt someone, apologize. If you make a mistake, admit it. But don't confuse accountability with constantly trying to make everyone approve of you. You don't need everyone to understand your path. You need to understand it yourself. Let your actions speak. One of the biggest mistakes people make is announcing everything before they've built anything. I'm going to change. I'm starting a business. I'm becoming disciplined. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to completely transform my life. And then they talk and talk and talk. But the work never happens. There is power in becoming quieter about your goals, not because you should hide everything, but because talking can sometimes create the illusion of progress. You announce the goal, people praise you, you feel accomplished, and your brain gets a small reward before you've actually done the work. So try something different. Work quietly, train quietly, study quietly. Build quietly, improve quietly, and let the results make the announcement. There is something powerful about becoming the person you said you would become, without needing anyone to watch. Stop trying to control other people. This is where Stoicism becomes practical. You can control your choices. You can control your judgments. You can control your effort. You can control how you respond, but you cannot control another person's thoughts. You can't force someone to respect you. You can't force someone to love you. You can't force someone to understand you. You can't force someone to understay. And the harder you try to control these things, the more frustrated you become. Imagine holding a rope in a tug-of-war against reality. You're pulling. Reality is pulling back. You're exhausted. Then one day, you let go, and suddenly you realize you didn't need to win the struggle. You needed to stop fighting something that was never yours to control. That is freedom. Protect your attention. Your attention is being attacked all day. Notifications, social media, news, arguments, short videos, other people's opinions, other people's lifestyles, other people's problems. Every notification says, "Look at me." Every algorithm says, "Give me another minute." And eventually, you spend hours consuming the lives of strangers while neglecting your own. This is why silence matters. Create periods where nothing is demanding your attention. Put the phone down. Walk without headphones. Sit alone. Read. Think. Write. Observe. At first, silence may feel uncomfortable. That's normal. You've become accustomed to constant stimulation. But after enough silence, something changes. Your mind begins to slow down. You start noticing what you actually think. You start recognizing what you actually want. And you begin to realize how much mental noise you were carrying. Return to your own life. At the end of the day, this entire philosophy comes down to one question. What are you doing with your own life? Not what is he doing. Not what is she doing. Not what do they think. Not who is ahead. Not who is watching. What are you doing? Are you becoming healthier? Are you becoming wiser? Are you becoming more disciplined? Are you keeping your promises to yourself? Are you building something meaningful? Are you treating people well? Are you becoming someone you respect? These questions matter, because eventually, your life is going to end, and you won't get those hours back. So why spend them obsessing over people whose lives you cannot control? Bring your attention home. Bring it back to your work, your character, your habits, your relationships, your purpose, your mind. So from today, talk less. Not because your voice doesn't matter, but because not everything deserves your voice. Explain less, not because you don't owe anyone accountability, but because you don't need everyone's approval. Compare less, because another person's timeline has nothing to do with your purpose. React less, because every provocation doesn't deserve your peace. Watch less, because constantly observing other people's lives can make you forget to live your own. And most importantly, focus on yourself. Build yourself. Discipline yourself. Improve yourself. Know yourself. Protect your attention. And when the world becomes loud, become quiet. Marcus Aurelius wrote about finding a quieter retreat within one's own soul, even amid the pressures of life. You don't need to disappear from the world. You need to stop allowing the world to control your mind. Let people talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them judge. Let them go. Your job is not to control the noise. Your job is to control yourself. And when you finally learn that, you become difficult to distract, difficult to manipulate, and difficult to break. Focus on yourself. Stay silent. Let your actions speak. And let the person you become be the answer to everything you once felt you needed to explain.